Well, good evening, boys, girls, ghouls, and Jeffrey. Do you like content creators doing Q&A videos? Why not? Well, that's too damn bad, because that's what we're doing here today, commemorating the second year anniversary of Madtown starting up and everything, and the fact that season 1 just finished, and the fact that we're continuing the show after that, even though I thought everybody was going to hate the season finale, and that's why I'd never planned on doing anything else after that with the show originally. But anyway, now that we're continuing and everything, I thought it'd be a cool thing to do a Q&A video. I originally planned to do one a while back, but that kind of backfired. So now we're doing it now. Isn't that fun? Sure it is. So, let's go. So how this is going to work is basically I'm going to answer your questions that you guys gave me on the Patreon supporter page first. Then we'll go to X, then we'll go to Blue Sky. And then it'll be over because you would have watched the whole video, assumingly. Unless you just skip and run the video, in which case, joke's on you. We've been talking about how awesome jelly beans are this whole time and you missed it. Way to go, Jeffrey. But anyway, yeah, we're just going to answer questions, and if I find that they're inappropriate, obviously I'll avoid them. If I find they're going to spoil too much of what's coming up in the story, I'll avoid it, or I'll just dance around the question in a way to where it's ambiguous enough to where you might get the general sense of how things will go, or I just might not even tell you. It depends, really. But we're going to have a good time regardless. Okay, so kicking us off, we got the first question from our Patreon supporters. Joshua asks, will there be any sort of third-party characters besides the ones we've seen in concept art in the first season so far? Like other than the HBI, Lucifer, Catherine Sins, etc. Any hints or themes of what they might be if it doesn't spoil anything? Yes, there will be other characters. Obviously, you gotta have side characters to build up lore and, backstories and all of that. There will be other characters. There's going to be other demons. There's going to be other villains. Villains that aren't necessarily just, one-off. There's going to be some that are built up for a while where it's like, okay, you'll see pieces of what they're doing. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, they did this in this episode. Oh, they did this in this episode. Okay, in this episode, that led to that. That is not a good thing. That is a bad thing. So to answer your question, yes. And there's even some side characters that admittedly they're just going to be side characters, but I feel like I enjoy them, and I feel like you guys will too. And no, not just because they're curvy. Next question comes from Fur Freak, who asks, will Wrath be aiding Mark in the future after what happened to his sister? Yes! For his own personal reasons that I can't divulge because of spoilers. Next question comes from Wrath, who says, I have 2 questions about Mark. Is Mark going to learn how to fight so he can protect himself, since I'm pretty sure it's going to be a while before he's going to want to see Max again? The other one was about, are we going to see how Mark started rooming with Victoria? To answer your first one, yes. I don't know how I'm going to go about it, though. I don't want it to be like a whole, there's just a whole episode where he just trained how to fight. It might be a thing where they mention it here and there, and maybe Charlie's, training with him one time here, one time there, things like that. But yeah, it will happen. I just don't know how yet. I'm still brainstorming ideas and everything on how it's going to happen for season 2. But anyway, to answer your second question, yes, it was originally going to be in the Victoria episode, but it got cut because, it didn't really work with how the episode was going. Next question comes from Victoria Enjoyer, who says, these questions are about Victoria. Number 1, does she still dance from time to time? Yes. Just not when Mark or Charlie are home. And 2, what kind of alcohol does she like to drink? Most wine or beer? Probably vodka or whiskey. She's a hard drinker. And 3, does she also wear the same clothes every day? No, it's just me being lazy and not wanting to design new outfits for a character every other episode. Even though I probably should. Next question comes from Zacharias. I hope I said that name right. He says, I have 2 questions. The first is, when exactly did Max get her scythe-shifting powers, and how long did it take her to master them? The second is that when Max's mom was shown being killed in the Season 1 finale, she was shown holding the Necronomicon, which was what the father was hunting down during the season. Does that imply that Max's mom escaped the Necronomicon before she could be killed? Probably a plot spoiler question, lol. To answer your first one, she got her powers gifted to her. She wasn't born with them. She was, let's just say, pleasantly gifted them by the father, and it took her a long time to master them. Also, just so everybody knows, all the sins don't have the same powers. Max is the only one with the power of growth. And default, height for her is 10 feet. And any bigger, and she can't maintain that. So basically, she starts at 10 feet, and then any further than that, she can't maintain that height for a while, and she'll just go right back to 10 feet, if that makes sense. But you will see how she got those powers in a planned flashback episode I'm going to do in Season 2, where it'll show, Puppy Max and her mom and everything, and basically a trail of events that lead to where we are in modern day. And it may or may not answer your second question. The second question is kind of spoilery, so I can't really get into it. I'll just say that she was by a cliff. And if you know anything about cliffs, you'll know that if you throw something off of it, it could land on anyone or any place or any building or anything below. So do with that information what you will till you see the episode and see what actually happened. Why am I talking like this? Next question! The last question from Patreon comes from Jonathan, who says, will Mark's personality completely change next season? Sad Mark, teary Mark, angry Mark. Yes and no. Yes, in the fact that obviously he's going to start out being an asshole. For those of you who don't know, I've already told people that yes, Season 2 is going to pick up 6 months after the ending of Season 1. And Mark's still going to be in a funk. He's still going to be a dick. But after that, when he's confronted by people who may or may not care about him, and, some people can't divulge spoilers, maybe after that he will change to a more reasonable person who's still silly, but also not a complete dumbass when being threatened and such. For example, let's say Les walks up to him and says, oh, pissing ball by yourself, handsome? Old Mark would say, oh yeah, kind of just in the bathroom, whereas the new incarnation of Mark will basically be like, yeah, how did you get in my house? Please leave. If that answers your question, good. If not, I tried. I am sorry. Next question comes from Rogan V over on X, who asks, will Raph free his sister from the father, and will Max run away from the father or move in with Mark? That is too spoilery of a question to where I can't even go near it with a Max-sized pole. And depending on what your favorite version of Max is, that might be a 50-foot pole or a 10-foot pole, or maybe even a 150-foot pole. Yes, and I won't say how, when, or why. Take that as an answer to the first question, not the second one. I'm not telling anyone about that part. You're just going to have to wait. Our next question comes from Vital, who asks, have you planned out everything that will happen in the series about the world building? I'm excited about this and how the main cast will react. The Season 1 finale was a big lore reveal at the end. Yeah, it was. If you haven't, actually watched the Season 1 finale's after credit scene, maybe go watch that. Kind of important, kind of, big thing heading forward into this next season and onward. But to answer your question, yes, I have planned it out. It's been planned out for a while, and not gonna lie, didn't think anyone was gonna like the Season 1 finale and the fact that this comedy show is going to have character development and, higher stakes and, consequences to your favorite kind of characters' actions and such. I didn't think anyone was going to like that, because again, as I've said in the past, I'm not a professional. I never took writing classes or animation or storytelling classes. So I'm just playing it by ear. And I didn't think anyone was going to like it. So after I posted it and people liked it, I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to keep doing it, because people like it. And I like it. So to answer your question, yes. I have things planned out till the end, and it's roughly looking like it might be 3 seasons. Possibly 4, I don't know. Moving on, we got a question from Tiger1 who says, I have 2 questions. Number 1, with how Mark is now saddened and hurt after Season 1, will that mean Heather may come after him? Especially with the revelation she is Agent H. Number 2, how will Max go on since she's returned to hell? To answer your first question, yes, she'll still come after him. She just may have an awkward go about it because, as you've seen at the end of the Season 1 finale, Mark is now kind of changing to be more aware of his actions and more aware that, there's threats and people who don't like him, and he should appreciate the people who actually did like him and everything. And yeah, she may see that and be like, oh fuck, I misjudged this whole situation and my plan might be ruined. To answer her second question, she's going to go on sad at first. And then... Can't tell you because of spoiler, but she may or may not get confident because she may or may not be trying to stop her dad's plan and try to get with the guy she likes. Next, we got Black Butler Girl's question. She says, all we want to know is, number 1, will Mark propose to Max soon and get married? And number 2, will Mark tell off Heather like he did with Victoria and Charlie? For the first question, I can't really answer that. I mean, you've seen the season 1 finale and how things were left, so if that were to happen, it would be in the future, after they have a moment where they reconnect, obviously, because, a lot of shit happened and they really need to talk. So I really can't tell you anything more than that because it's, kind of, if that happened, it would have to be in the future. I don't know. Haven't really thought about that actually happening, to be real with you. As for your second question, possibly. Depends how the situation goes. Sorry, I know that's not a good answer for your question, but I can't directly answer that because it might spoil things to come. Next, we have a question from Matthew Smith, who says, Beast Wars, favorite character and episode? I've been wanting to ask about that for a while. Favorite character? Cheetor. Even though in the beginning of the series it starts out kind of like a little shit, he grows on you after a while and becomes, kind of cool. At least he does in my opinion. As for favorite episode, I don't really know episodes specifically. It's been a while since I've seen it, I'm sorry. Our next question comes from Duck Dude, who asks, will Lust be seen more in Season 2? Well, if you've seen the Season 1 finale, and the father says the whole oh, well, now I'm sending Lust, you're fucking fucked up now, Envy. You've seen that, then yeah, he's sending her, and yeah, she will be a pivotal kind of, villain of the season. May or may not even come into contact and conflict with a certain hellhound who may just tell her, hey, fuck off and stay away from my man, you bitch! Our last question from X comes from Jonatas. I hope I pronounced your name right, man. Jonatas says, now that Lust and Heather are going to try everything to get the book, how will they react now that Mark has realized he's no longer innocent? He might not care about Lust's charm or if Heather talks to him. How will they react to that? That's a good question, first and foremost. I will say they'll react differently. Heather may see it as okay, I'm just going to have to go at him with the facts and make him give me what I want. Lust may see it as oh, okay, well, I'll just have to crank up the charm and try to make myself shape-shift to look more and more desirable, like someone he actually does like a certain hellhound. Couldn't tell you who that is. Anyway, yeah, I hope that answers your question. And lastly, we got a question over from Blue Sky, from Speeder1K, who says, crap, 2 years already? Well then, what were your expectations for the show to achieve in terms of viewership and engagement and other things? Did you expect it to do well given the style and quality of it? Gonna be frank with you, no. I did not expect it to do well, no. Because, as I've stated in the past, I'm not a professional. I just do this shit in my free time for a hobby, man. Not gonna lie. I look at some of my episodes and I'm could have done the sound better there. Could have done the animation better there. Stuff like that. And then, some other days I'll lay awake at night and think man, my show fucking sucks. No one cares. But then, I'll look back and I'll see you guys commenting and doing your fan art, your fan theories and all that. And it makes me see that people actually care about my silly little show, and it means a lot to me. Hell, the cast and crew being so passionate about it and everything mean a lot to me. And so to answer your question, I didn't expect it to do well, but I'm glad it did. And I hope it continues to. So that's going to do it for this Q&A video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I didn't bore you with some of my answers to your questions. I didn't want to spoil too much, but I also wanted to at least give you something to go off of. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, awesome. If not, that's cool too. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great holiday season, coming up with your family and friends and all that. Hope you stay safe. Hope you have some good times. And thank you guys again so much for enjoying the show and everything and this channel and all that. It really means a lot. Like I said, I wouldn't be here still making it if it wasn't for you guys' support. So, thank you. I love you guys. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take care. This is Marcus S., the Trash Panda Animator, out.